And we're live with Sadi, surname withheld. Glad your hair is now dried. So we're going to do a Reinin dichotomies test. So I'm going to share my screen. Have you encountered the Reinin dichotomies before, Sadie?
Okay. Intuitive, static, positive, asking. So I choose one of these.
Yeah, I'll make it a big. Yeah, I'll make it a bit bigger.
Okay.
If I maximize it. Right. That is, I think that's all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. I'll just. And you only pick them if like you're absolutely sure, because there's 16 scales, and just pick the 4 that you're absolutely sure of. So if we just to make the video interesting, if we talk about the first one, what are your thoughts on introvert, extrovert?
Manipulates real objects, feelings, emotions, and sensations rather than delivers into a world of, or delves into a world of imagination. So does that describe the introvert, extrovert? Oh,
yeah.
There we go. Uses perception rather than manipulates real objects. Focuses on relations between self and the outer world. I would say I'm an introvert.
Okay. How sure are you of that?
I recently encountered some, I guess I can call them censors, but people who actually do manipulate their real objects and stuff. And what they did was they would remove people from a group that they didn't like but would share that information, or they would they would actually like relate in a physical way to the objects outside of them, where I like to sit and imagine them. Very addicted to taking some time away and reflecting over and over and over again something that's going on and how it makes me feel or how I am impacting it, rather than changing what it's going to do.
Right. With that question, the way they've worded it, it sounds quite similar to intuition versus sensing to me.
That question? Yeah.
Yeah, that first one.
That part. I would say much more of an introvert than an extrovert. Real objects. I'm usually I'm not in the outside world enough. If I'm in the outside world and there's a situation going on, I'm very quiet, or I observe what's going on, and I try not to make too much noise. I don't like a lot of attention being centered on me or seen on me or anything like that. Or coming to find that attention is on me anyway. I like being on the sidelines, being an observer or something going on.
Right, okay. Well, in the past, you have thought that you were extroverted types, though.
I think I'm attracted to extroverts, and I think that that's an interesting question, because I can put on a show. If I'm prepared to go outside somewhere, I can be perceived as very extroverted, because I do enjoy attention on me. I do enjoy being part of something. If I know the group and if it feels really good. If I don't know the group, then it's really scary. So I like the first impression of myself to be that way, but I have to keep it up. It's not something that's natural to me. It's more of an act.
Right. Well, for me, I will still come out as my type, even if I don't pick introvert and logical. I will still come out as my type. So, for instance, what even if I pick the things I'm absolutely sure about, I would say intuiting, not static, I'm told, but even by that, but the ones I'm absolutely sure about, I would say, but based on this, I would say rational, result, and that already that's left just Websphere, so INTP, and Jack London, that's ENTJ, and I'd say reasonable there. So just by picking those ones that I'm absolutely sure of, and I'm like,
what's about choosing these things?
I mean, I'm pretty sure of introvert and logical, but just like from the point of view of those that I'm absolutely sure about. But if you want to pull the lever on introvert, that's fine.
Because I'd rather be truthful. So it's
yeah, that's the thing.
I would prefer, you know, there's what I'd like to be, and then there's what I actually do, and I think I'm not, you know how you don't always see yourself, you're fish in water.
Yeah.
So I'm perceived as an extrovert by most people, so I might not be accepting of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, non-typological factors can affect things. So even in Kersey, recently saw one of the lectures from Kersey Senior in 1980. Well, heard it, and it was about his history of madness, and he was talking about a system field theory of type. So, for instance, he would see the personality is the temperament, and then the role variant was very much determined by the environment of the person. So, for instance, you could have someone who was naturally extroverted, but their environment might make them into an introvert because of like. So yeah. So I've noted down that we can come back to that one.
Let's come back to that one.
Yeah. And what about logical, ethical?
I'd say to be ethical, but I like to follow the rules. And if something isn't fair, even if I really like someone, have good feelings about them, I go for. This is interesting because I'm going after some recent decisions I've made. Better perceives real objects and their relations, general principles, and trends. Sees the world through the prisms of rules and logical connections. Ethical better perceives feelings, emotions, and concerns. I'm very aware of my own emotions and concerns, but when I'm manifesting things in life, that's not the first place I start from.
Right. Well, I was still able to get my type without selecting any of these first two dichotomies. So this one might be easier. What about intuiting sensor?
Let's see. But better perceives non-material side of the world, ideas, concepts, and the like. Quickly absorbs new information that because of poor digestion doesn't keep it in memory for too long. Better perceives the material side of the world, taste, color, and the like. Slowly absorbs new information. But thanks to good digestion, keeps it in memory for a long time. You know, I feel like I've been very close to sensing. Just with my interest in cooking, and I do hold on to memory and things that you know, these tests are hard. This is sad. It makes me feel like I don't know what I'm talking about.
The irony is that the more obscure dichotomies are usually clearer. Yeah, because we want to be absolutely sure about this, so we'll come back to them.
Come back to all of them.
Now, static dynamic, that's a very abstract one.
Okay, perceives okay. Okay, perceives a series of interrelated events, notices trends and changes. I'm dynamic. Dynamic.
Right, you think?
Always. Yeah, I'm very sure about that one.
Okay, here we go. Okay, very sure of dynamic. Okay. How about positive, negative?
Sees what's assonant. Weather is good, the skies. Sees what's present rather than what's absent, first of all. Notices the positives. Weather is good, the sky is clear.
Well, what's the sky like at the moment?
The sky is beautiful, so I guess I'd be positive. Beautiful.
Well,
There's some clouds.
When it comes to California, the weather makes you positive, the taxes make you negative.
Is negative.
Dear me. Keep getting these pop-ups in Facebook. I'm going to close that tab. Right, okay, so you're very sure of dynamic.
Very sure of dynamic.
Yeah.
Let's skip the positive and negative for now. I don't understand it. Typically speaks in questions, prefers dialogue to monologues, tends to use short remarks, but he or she is more interested in hearing the other person than self-expression. Typically speaks in statements, prefers monologues to dialogues, asking.
You're pretty sure about asking?
When I'm engaging with people,
yeah,
I prefer to learn a lot about them. But if they're talking to me, then I'll have a monologue. So with you, I have monologues because you know more than me. So I'll make longer statements and I'll enjoy it. But when it's meeting a new group of people, it's always asking. So it does depend on who I'm talking to. So if I know the person knows more than me, I like clearing. I like having them observe me and take me feedback. But in general, people, it's always asking. I get comfortable. No.
If we say that when it's with people that you really know, I would say that someone is more of themselves. When it's with, because when people are meeting people for the first time, they might fall back onto sort of learned behavior of what is the done thing in this situation. You know, the sort of the social rituals that people have been taught. Whereas when it's with someone they know more, they sort of like, they're not thinking about those things because they're just being themselves.
Yeah, then I'd say I'm declaring. I'm just being myself when I'm with people.
Because you do like to get on a roll. Now, it's a good roll. You get on a good roll and you make good points, but you do like to get on a roll.
Yeah, so I'd say declare.
Because I noticed that with some people, and it's not like that they like talking about it. It's just that they need to get on a roll. You know what I mean? So it's like a stone that's gathering speed as it goes down a hill. And then when they're in the flow of it, on a roll. Right, here we go. I mean, right now, just by selecting those two, we have only 4 types left.
Great. This is good. Okay.
That's ISFJ, ESFJ, ENTJ, and INTJ.
Okay. Those feel, yeah.
But the question is, are you super duper absolutely sure of declaring?
I would say I'm declaring when I'm comfortable what my natural form.
Right, okay. Right then, here we go. How about tactical or strategic?
Tends to make local decisions based on the current state of things. Tends to make global decisions based on the prominent future. Cares more about the goal and the desired state of things. Finds it easier to set a goal than to decide on the next step. Strategic.
Okay. You want to pull the lever for strategic. Okay. Here we go. Ooh. Interesting. It's left ISFJ and ENTJ. Ooh. Oh, we have one viewer already.
We do?
We do. And I wonder what they're looking at more, you or the graphic?
Probably. So what is the next one that I would choose?
Oh, either constructive or emotive. Was that?
Oh, okay. Okay, first, it's constructive. First perceives the meaning, and then the emotional implication. First perceives the emotional implication, then the meaning. To person's mood. Is there a different one that I can answer?
Yeah. You don't have to answer that.
I don't know.
How about this one? Rational, irrational.
Takes in the incoming information directly without assessing it or relating it on his or her experience. First, assesses the incoming information, then comes up with a response or applies an existing pattern to the situation using his or her experience. Say rational.
Are you super duper sure?
There's a different one that I can answer. I don't even like answering something unless I know enough about it.
Yeah, because there's quite a few options left, and
Okay.
you know, process and result is usually a good one. I'm a big fan of that dichotomy.
For result oriented. Okay. Focuses on a process, finds it hard to tune out of it or tune back in. It's typical of him or her to do the work from the beginning to the end without switching to something else. Can multitask. It's typical of him or her to divide the work into smaller portions. Result oriented. And monitor reaching the milestones.
And something else on this dichotomy is process types will usually read a book
From beginning to end?
from beginning to end in order. Result types read a bit in the middle, read a bit at the end, see what it's like first, read it out of order.
Result oriented.
Right, okay, so that's what I mean with this dichotomy, it's usually like pretty clear. Are you like 100% on this one?
Yes.
Right.
100%.
Oh, it just killed off ISFJ.
It did. Am I an ENTJ?
Oh dear. But if you choose wrong on the next ones, you could kill off Jack London and then you have no type.
Oh, no.
Then you are a phantom. You don't really exist because everyone has to have a type, according to the theory.
So I should answer one more, or am I good?
Well, you can see what happens. See if you kill Jack London.
Carefree or farsighted?
Or you could do yielding and obstinate.
What's that? Let's see, reasonable. Doesn't rush when it comes to making a decision. Takes time to think. I'm reasonable.
Okay.
Finds it hard to function on the spot without external motivation. That is me right now.
Okay. So which one? So you've ignored yielding, obstinate, carefree, farsighted. Okay.
I didn't see that. It's easy to change his or her mind. Can give a head start to partners. Consider counter offers and compromise. It's hard to change his or her minds are needed. Will use any measures and sources to achieve the goal. Isn't usually keen on compromising. It's easy to change my mind.
Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, Jack London's alive. Still alive. This is like game of death.
How much do I have to do these for?
Well, you can see what happens to get more confident of your type. I mean, if you keep selecting them and Jack London stays alive, then you can be more confident of that result. I mean, if you selected all 16 and Jack London stayed alive, that's a pretty confident result.
Doesn't rush when it comes to making a decision. Takes time to think it over. So I know I'm reasonable.
What about carefree, farsighted?
Believes that one can't foresee everything. Once in a situation, only uses infinitely central, overlooking a previous experience. Strives to foresee everything. Once in a new situation, prefers to use a previous experience, even if it's not relevant. No, carefree.
Carefree, okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, Jack London's still alive. Oh, very good. Oh dear. Reasonable, decisive.
And then we know reasonable is one.
Yeah, I'm there with where the cursor is, the pointer rather.
Objective. Hearing someone else's opinion places major importance on this person's reputation.
Oh, sorry. Which one do you think you are, reasonable or decisive?
One?
Pardon?
One is overheated. Whoops.
Yeah, sorry, your sound's breaking up a little bit. What about this trait here, reasonable, decisive?
Reasonable. Doesn't rush when it comes to making decisions.
Oh dear. Oh, you're back. Let's see if you're frozen or moving. Oh, might as well talk. Right then, reasonable. Well, while waiting for Sadi to get back, I will say which one I would pick. Reasonable. Oh, no viewers. Oh, dear. The dish is out of juice. Right. Does it rush when it comes to making a decision? Unless it's this dichotomy. I wish I were mobilized. I don't think this is live events. Let's see what the control room says. Let's go to the control room. Right. We're now looking at the live control room, and you can see all the inner workings of this hangout. Right, okay. Stream status okay. Peak concurrent 1. Will she be back? Hope so. What's happening here? Backup stream. I see. Right, and that, it saves that one first. Okay. Right then. Dead air here. Right. Okay. When will she be back? Right, there you go. I'll wait for her. Right. Oh, send a Facebook message. Right. Dead air. Okay. Right, I'll go through these then. Doesn't rush when it comes to making a decision. Takes time to think it over. Yeah, I pick reasonable rather than decisive. Subjective, objective. Right. Considering someone else's opinion places major importance on this person's reputation, relies on his own subjective worldview. But you see, if someone relied on their subjective worldview, do most of those people think that they are being subjective? I mean, they go around admitting to people, yes, the way I view the world is totally subjective. I don't like being objective. So anyone who is subjective, would they actually choose that? Because to them, they might see themselves as objective. EJR&D might see themselves as objective. Considering someone else's opinion compares it with the real facts. Believes in objective laws being true, independent of subjective opinions. You see, that depends on the subject. Because an INTP that is an Austrian school economist will recognize objective laws, such as if you increase the supply of money, you devalue it. So, for instance, If someone waved the magic wand and there was 10 times as much gold in the world, then the value of that gold will go down. However, if that... will she be back? Right. Talking about my own ones now. Okay. I do place importance on reputation. So, for instance, Victor Galenko types Leon Sal, i.e. typed it as ENTP. I'm sort of going, maybe. I mean, I think Leon's an INFP, but, you know, it is Victor's typing. So I'm not keen to dismiss it. That seems a little bit of a contradiction, though. Relies on someone's reputation, but also on their subjective worldview. Okay. Sees people as members of a group, hierarchy, or social network rather than individuals. I wouldn't actually name that dichotomy because most people are not going to want to pick aristocratic. We could just put A or B for that one. A or D. That could be renamed. Oh, there. Okay, for me, I would see people as individuals in a group, and I would see them as if they are born into a group and it's not their fault, versus someone who has chosen to become a group, member of a certain group. Right. Right. Okay, we'll go a summary over her choices. So she declined to state introvert, extrovert. I like how they spell introvert, extrovert correctly. Logical or ethical. Intuitive, sensing. Dynamic. She pulled the trigger on. Declaring. Strategic. Result-oriented or orientated. Yielding, carefree. Right. Oh, nice to see us put some effort into this. 3 years. Oh, boys. Right. I might end it now, because the type is there. Jack London. Right, there's the website, folks. Bye for now. There'll be another video.